Ew. Ew. Okay, let's get one thing straight. Andrade has a great talent as just a professional wrestler. Period. That's about it. Andrade has the talent of a good lucha libre guy. He can speak average English. Selena Vega's the only subpar thing that get going with him, but we know that they can't do a relationship angle. The guy has no semblance of charisma or authenticity, and he can barely act his way out of stuff that can make him entertaining. Like, at least to Jerry, we knew he had a much issue with the language barrier, but he had so much chemistry with most guys over in the roster that you can actually do stuff with Tajiri other than him just kicking people in the face. Andrade, I've seen good matches that he had with Finn Balor, Humberto Carrillo sometimes, Rey Mysterio. Most people remember his matches back when he was on NXT, but that's what they were, just good wrestling matches with no other substance. Other than the long old hurting storyline, little feud he had revolving around Mysterio's mask for the U.S. title, nobody else remembers a damn thing because, of course, Andrade has nothing to follow himself out. And it just pissed me off some more because they went over, like, this whole thing I saw on Twitter involving the most underrated talents. And then Cedric could just come around. I think Apollo just come around. I mean, it's underutilized. No, you guys just suck. Naked Cross is barely on television. Mustafa Ali is with the worst faction in the WWE. Nobody even knows what Apollo is doing other than a really weak-handed heel turn that's probably going to last for like at least 2 to 3 months after WrestleMania before it gets scrapped over and he's back on being a dumb babyface. Because I knew I was being a jerk. And then he comes back in like a 6-man tag. Andrade has literally in a relationship with the daughter of Ric Flair. And even Vince is like, these Lucha Libre jobbers really ain't got nothing for him, pal. They're gonna get fired. It's gonna be spring cleaning real soon. Gonna get rid of all these Hispanics. And the rest of these indie jobbers. I'm losing too much money off this crap. Like, Vince is gonna really know. The only young... I understand they're trying to leech over in the Latino market still. That's why they're still having some faith over with Dominic in the main roster. But the only guy that I see that has potential over that's a luchador is, I guess, Angel Garza. Technically, because his namesake, he's like the son of Hector Garza. And he at least has a character. He has decent charisma. The guy looks good, and he can look like he can hold a mid-card title. The guy looks like he can hold a championship. If you don't got guys like that, there's no point of, or have a character. There's no point of the guy being on TV. He's just NXT jobber. Garza at least has that look. He looks like if he just had more time, he can speak better. He can get in decent storylines, and you can put him in segments. I can't feel that with Andrade because all I feel like good wrestler. That's it. I wish I could say more. It's obvious that they had more bang for the buck for the guy. He has a long-standing reign with the U.S. title that was forgettable because he started just wrestling Humberto Carrillo for some apparent reason for like 2 months. He has an attractive Latina manager out of Selena Vega, even though like she could have just done crap like in Lucha Underground and Impact and could have been settled down better. And that's all he had, just a decent mouthpiece and good wrestling matches. I wish I had more to say about Andrade, and hopefully he does get a job or stay in the WWE so they can work him in the right path. He can expand his language. He has Charlotte. I'm sure he can pay for an English class and then an acting class, so he can actually learn how to speak the language well. Work on his character, because he can't just be a good wet-haired midget luchador with no character or charisma. If he had more of a definitive look, other than he does look a bit tubby, but athletic at the same time, maybe I would have more faith in the guy. But don't do these underrated lists when there's a reason why these guys are barely winning or just not on television, like Nikki Cross, Mustafa Ali, or Apollo Crews. There's more in wrestling than just being a good wrestler. And the more they actually get their head on that, the more we can actually have more positives to say about WWE or any other wrestling fed at this factor. Most shows aren't getting that. That's why we're struggling to even reach over 2 million spots on even one of the number one biggest shows for pro wrestling at this moment, and it's still Monday Night Raw, but they're declining in this factor that they are literally just leeching over what the internet fans are saying, than what got them popular in the first place. But that's just my opinion. Under the standpoint, I think that Andrade truly has a ways to go, but I just feel like he sucks. He's just a good wrestler, and that's about it. No semblance over a character. I haven't seen he has redundant second-hand moves. His only cool move I see him do is delivered over by better guys than him and guys that get over better. And he just does the Judas effect. I mean, the reverse elbow. It looks cool. It looks stiff, but that's about it. And then the hammerlock DDT doesn't look that threatening. I think I just dropped something. Other than that, that's all I got for the video. Hopefully Andrade, if he ever somehow, I'm saying in a really smidgen chance that he checks out on the video, that he takes these to heart and knows that I actually want guys like him that does have potential to actually try to grow something beneath just being a good wrestler, so you actually have a long stance to grow the company and yourself at this matter. That's all I got.